Oi, McCormick, shut it.
Yes, Sarge. Sorry, Sarge.
Right, where was I? We don't know what they're smuggling, so be careful. I don't want any accidents. You all remember last time?
Yes, Sarge.
Good. That means no flintlocks. They could have a cache of artifacts stowed away, and we're not here to light up the coast this evening or start a war. Corporal, don't think I didn't see it. You can leave it on the boat.
Yes, Sergeant.
Once we're aboard, deal with them quickish. Nobody gets hurt, nobody gets dead. Hear me?
Yes, Sarge.
Right. To your posts then. We'll be on them any minute now.
You think they're out there? I can't see anything in this fog.
Oh, they're out there. We'll just have to be patient, that's all. You don't mind waiting, do you, Carlisle?
Not at all, Sarge. I just like to know we're not on some wild goose chase. Like last time.
This won't be like...
Over there. Lights. I see him.
If somebody would shut that boy up, else I'll do it myself.
On it, Sarge. Harry, will you quit your wailing? You're going to give us away.
Best you ready yourselves, my lovelies. These here smugglers think they're about to outsmart the Meridian Watch. Not bloody likely. If it's so different from last time, why does everything feel the same? Why does everything feel so goddamn familiar? Steady now. Wait until we're on them. Almost. Go, go, go! Corporal, on him before he disappears overboard. Carlisle, quit banging his head in and cuff the man! Now, McCormick, that's no way to treat a lady. Oi, where do you think you're going? You're nicked.
You're listening to The Meridian Watch by Mitchell Luty. Performed by Scott Miller and Anna Capraro. Featuring Paul Cassell and Tim Redman. Produced by Citadel Studios for Sentinel Creatives.
They didn't put up much of a fight, did they, Sarge?
Strip this vessel bare. If they have any illicits, I want them. No, they didn't.
Strange, isn't it?
What is, McCormick?
Well, that lot over there didn't bother with us at all. They got down on their knees as soon as they saw us, arms out, ready to be cuffed, like they were waiting for us. I've never seen anything like it, not on a raid.
That is strange.
Look a bit odd too, don't they? All malnourished like, and a little flaky. That one there's just skin and bone. And him too. They've got the look of the grave about them, Sarge, and I don't mind saying.
Best we check them for plague before bringing them in, just to be sure.
Sergeant, you're gonna want to see this.
Tell me the good news, Corporal. Have you found what I'm looking for?
No, sir. Well, maybe. You'll have to see for yourself. We found something, but...
All right, lead the way.
We haven't found any unlicensed magical items as of yet, Sergeant. But this...
Ye gods, man! What happened to him?
He's been partially embalmed.
Only partially. He looks like he's been dragged out from the bottom of a tomb barge. Like he's been laying there for years.
He's been cut open, along the side. Look here. But his main organs still appear to be intact. I can't quite make out what these markings are, though. Sergeant, another thing. He's still alive.
How? The man's half rotted away. And the rest of him looks like... And that stench!
I couldn't tell you, but he's still breathing. Look.
Yes, I see. Well, there's nothing for it. We'll have to summon the good doctor. He'll know what to make of this mess. McCormick!
Yes, Sarge?
Don't creep up on me like that, boy. I need you to get back ashore and fetch Dr. Selmy for me. You know where he lives?
Of course I do. Bottom of Lincoln, East Market Street.
That's the place. Wake him up and bring him here. He'll tell you to piss off, but tell him I sent you. And be quick about it.
Right you are, Sarge. Quick as a wink.
Ugh. I've never seen anything like it.
Nor I, James. This reeks of the foul. I can feel it. There's no way he should still be breathing. Not when he looks like this.
We'll leave that to the doctor to decide, shall we? Anything we can do to make him more... comfortable?
I wouldn't think so. He doesn't seem to be in much pain, but it's hard to tell. His eyes flicker every now and again. I think he's dreaming.
Yes. Who would do such a thing? If it weren't for the state of the man, I think he were happily asleep. Why do you think his arms are bound to the bed? Look here.
Sarge?
His feet too. This seems a little redundant, don't you think? I'd hardly imagine he's fit to wander about the deck. Where's he going to, anyway? He's on a ship!
Sarge!
What is it? Gods, Carlyle, no need to shout. I'm right here.
His eyes. They're open.
So they are. Hello? Can you hear us? It looks like he's trying to say something. Anybody hurt? Gods, what is this? Carlyle, get out!
Yes, sir.
Right, you lot. Pick yourself a prisoner. I want everybody off this boat in the next 2 minutes, or I'll have to write a very sad letter to your mums about why their favourite son or daughter won't be making it home for breakfast. Got it? Move it!
Everything alright, Sarge? I just saw Constable Carlyle shimmy herself over the side quick as you like. And what's that racket?
As right as it's ever been, Corporal. You've got some powder for your flintlock? I'll be needing it.
Of course, Sarge.
I'll be needing that. Yes, thank you. You'll get a receipt once we reach the watch house. Off you go. Over the side. Back to the boats.
What about the one in there? We taking him too?
Not a chance. You've got less than a minute, my lovelies. Then this boat is going up in flames, artifacts or no. You're still standing here, Corporal.
Need some flint, Sarge?
Aye, I suppose I do.
Can you smell that, Sergeant?
What exactly am...
Industry, Sergeant. The fires of industry bellow in the city before us. Men and women work to make Midstadt better, stronger. Elderach and Visemrein may have their magecraft, their empires, but we have the sweat of our brow, of our people. The wheel turns, Delwar. It won't be long before magic is a thing of the past. Will it die a noble death, do you think? Or will it need to be ushered out by men like you and I?
Sir.
Yes, well, quite. What is it you wanted to see me about, then? Last night's operation went as planned, I trust. I didn't expect to see you back at the stations until afternoon, at least.
No, sir.
Well, out with it, man. Or do I have to draw it out from you?
Sorry, Captain. It's been a long night. We seized upon the merchant vessel,
Radcliffe's Dawn, just after midnight. About a dozen crew and other such flotsam are currently waiting to be charged, though I'm not sure what with. With smuggling, of course. The importation of illicit artifacts. Consorting with black market wielders. Do I need to do your job for you, man?
Sir, with respect, we found no such artifacts on the vessel. The ship was clean.
None at all? But that's...
Yes, sir. It means the department got it wrong. Again. There was something else. Before the fire, we came across a man. Someone had pulled a number on him, to be sure. He was half rotted, half preserved in some perverse, putrid stasis. I sent for Dr. Selmy, but the boat went up in flames before he could arrive.
Interesting indeed, Sergeant. This man? You didn't manage to save him too, did you? I'd love to get a closer look.
Unfortunately not, sir.
Ah, well, pity. You did well to get everyone else off. I'll make some inquiries with the department and see where they got their lines crossed.
Thank you, sir.
Let's go have a look at the lot you dragged in, shall we? I'm sure we can find something to charge them with. Breaking curfew, for starters. The nights are getting busier, Sergeant. The people are growing restless. We had no less than 5 cases of drunken indecency last night. Assault, too. I've had to clear out another one of the old cells just to fit them all in. It happens every time those fools in Visembrine start threatening war. They'll have set up blockades again, saber-rattling no doubt, but it's proving a nuisance.
Aye, but from what I hear, Elderech isn't backing down this time either. The people know it. This time feels different, despite what the rags are saying.
And here we are, caught between 2 empires on a continent only big enough for one. There'll come a reckoning soon enough. Of that I have no doubt.
Corporal, here to inspect the new additions.
Right you are, Sarge.
Most of the crew we picked up come from Aedes Port, or one of the free docks.
No surprises there. I suspect this won't be a first run-in with the law for many of them.
Some familiar faces, yeah. Old Garmin the Boar is up to his tricks again. Nicked him the moment I got aboard. It's the others I'm not so sure of.
Here we are, then.
Ah, yes. That is peculiar, isn't it, Sergeant? What's wrong with them?
I'm not sure, Captain. They haven't said a word since we brought them in. They just sit there, all quiet-like.
Quiet as mice.
They seem a little...
green. Selmy's had a look at them. He says they're in perfect health, though you wouldn't guess it.
What do you think it is?
Couldn't say, Captain. And then there's this. Corporal, be a lad and fetch one of the prisoners for me.
Oh, Sarge, I don't want to go in there again.
I'm not asking, Corporal. I'm telling.
Yes, Sarge. Right, on your feet. Come along.
Thank you, Corporal. Now, pull up his sleeve, will you? They all bear this mark. Ever seen it before?
I can't say that I have, Sergeant. Some sort of serpent motif? That's quite enough, Corporal. You can come back out.
Thank you, Captain.
And you're sure they haven't said anything since you brought them in?
Not a word.
Keep me updated, Sergeant. Now, I think it's time I started asking questions of the department, don't you?
What's gotten into him?
I'm not sure. Keep an eye on this lot, will you? I've got some inquiries to make myself.
Yes, Sarge.
McCormick, Carlisle, we're heading out. It's time I showed the boy the ropes.
Where to, Sarge?
Lendin Burrows. We're going to the old town.
Hear that, McCormick? We're going to the Graph.
The Graph?
It's time I showed you around, lad. The city is more than just its white walls and pillars. More than the cigar-stained halls of the Universitat. Than the soaring buildings of Parliament. The job's easy out here. But the city's got a heart that beats. And it's black as night.
Sarge is only having a go. It's not that bad.
Maybe. But you won't catch me out there after dark. Not for anything. I've seen veterans twice my size quiver in their boots at the thought. No, lad. Not after dark.
But we have a station there, don't we? The London Watch House.
We do. In a manner of speaking. Post's been abandoned for as long as I can remember. Not many willing to set up shop in the Graph. Perilous place, that is. Without any real perks. Not unless you get into the pockets of one of the gangs. But then you've got those bloodhounds in the department to worry about. If they catch you taking coin, it'd be just as bad as anything in the Graph.
So, why are we going?
There's something I need to see. Something I saw last night, during the raid. And again this morning. An extra pair of eyes or two will come in useful. And I need someone to watch my back while we're in there.
Besides, what better way to teach a wet behind the ears recruit where not to go than to take him there?
You could just tell me not to.
Doesn't quite have the same effect, does it? There's knowing, and then there's knowing.
Hail, Delwar! Sergeant!
Just what we need. Gimlick and his scheming.
Easy, Constable. More often than not, there's a hint of truth in what he has to say. Morning, Gimlick. What can I do for you today?
It's what I can do for you, Sarge. Tobacco?
Trying to get off the stuff. Wife's not having it anymore. What's news then?
Your lass. Always straight to it, eh, Sarge? Wouldn't have it any other way. Nothing much awry as it happens. The fine denizens of this city mumble and groan about the same old. Taxes too high, fear of war, the politics of Parliament. The usual gossip.
And what of those less fine citizens? Heard anything interesting of late?
You got a question for me, Sarge? Or do you just want me to babble on about any old cutthroats? I know a few of them. It'd take all morning.
I'm looking for information. The underground sort. Illicits. Counterfeits. Black market trade. Come on, Gimme. I know you've got an ear for that sort of thing.
You tarnish me like that. And in front of strangers, Sarge. All right. Nothing specific. I heard something in the burrows, but it mightn't be anything serious. Rumour as speculation, as you know, Gov.
Right. It's better than nothing. What have you heard?
Something's gotten to Dunbar and his lot. They've been restless these past few days. Feels like they're waiting for something to kick off. Hardly see any of them on the streets anymore. They're up to something.
Another fight with the monarchists. The last one nearly tore the Graph in two.
No, nothing like that, I think. They're spooked about something, though I couldn't tell you what.
Dunbar spooked? Enough to keep him off the streets? That's unexpected.
It is what it is. The Black Hand's been taking advantage ever since the monarchists disappeared down whatever hole they crept out from. They were all over the place, flipping old monarchist spots, putting their own men in place. Been a bit of violence, but nothing too obscene. It seems like that Golden Dawn lot are backing off across the entire borough. But now the anarchists are getting edgy too.
Something's up. Any idea what's got him spooked? There's something in it for you if I can get some solid answers here.
Hard to gold, Sarge. I'll see what I can find out. You sure I can't interest you in some baccy? My brother-in-law's sister's husband brings it in real cheap from Tourland.
And I'm sure he's got all the requisite licenses for that too. Isn't that right?
Oh, yes, ma'am. All above board. Don't you worry about it.
No, thank you, Gimlick. But you know where to find me if you figure out what's going on.
Course, Sarge. Black walls, black gates, black coffee. I know the place.
How do you know him then, Sarge?
He used to be a smuggler. Well, he still is. But he used to be bad at it. Caught him trying to bring in a herd of unlicensed grass-nipped sheep once. Remember that, Carlisle?
He couldn't get them to stop bleating. Gods.
We made a deal after that. He still spent a bit of time in our cells, but less than he should have. All those damn sheep had to be brought in as evidence too. Shit all over our floors at the watch house. Bloody nightmare to clean up.
And now he's your informer?
Of a sort. Gotta take everything he says with a pinch of salt. He loves a good story, does Gimlick. Sometimes more than the truth.
But we get a good laugh out of him too, don't we, Sarge?
Aye, and that too. Now come on, we don't have all day. Sun'll be at its highest soon, and the graph's known to stink in the heat.
That thing's more bear than hound, surely. Look at the size of those teeth.
They breed 'em different here, in the graph. That one's built for pit fighting, maybe even hunting.
Hunting? In Midstadt? What's there to hunt?
It's different here, lad. The rules don't apply like they do where we're from.
You mean...
They hunt people sometimes, but mostly rats and other things. You deal with black market artifacts long enough and you're tempting fate. I've heard some stories about the graph, and not just from Gimlick. Oh no.
What sort of stories?
Chin up, McCormick. The chances of us getting in a bind here are slim. It's not worth the trouble it'd cause the gangs. The Black Hand
Anarchists.
and this Golden Dawn
Monarchists.
would rather not have an enraged force of coppers snooping around down here, looking for missing officers.
Well, I guess that's not so bad that...
Ugh!
The streets are flooded. Ugh, that smell!
The monarchists sealed up the drains when they set up underground. It's been getting worse. But I didn't know it had gotten this bad.
Underground?
The sewerage system runs all through Old Town. They started using them like tunnels when the Black Hand moved in. They reach as far as the docks, from what I hear. Makes transporting illicits quick and easy for the loyalists.
And the anarchists?
They just don't care. They've got enough muscle to push through most blockades, but they won't use the tunnels. Not with the monarchists down there. And if the stories are true, the loyalists have got some interesting pets protecting what's theirs.
Another place you won't catch me. It stinks like black magic filth down there.
You've been in the sewers?
Once. A long time ago. It's a memory not worth reciting, of a venture never to be repeated. Come on, this way. Out of this muck.
What do you think has gotten Dunbar and his lot all riled up?
Could be any manner of things. You can never tell with the anarchists. Dunbar is particularly erratic. Won't do things on a whim half the time. And the other half, well, he can be cruel and calculating when he sets his mind to it.
Dunbar wants Midstadt to rejoin Visimrine, right? Or is the other way around?
Listen, if there's a lesson you learn from this, aside from not wading through the graph, it's that these names, monarchist, anarchist, they don't mean anything anymore. Not here. When they started dealing in illicits, it was to finance their campaigns against the Republic. But it became about something else entirely. Now it's about power, and not the kind made from wealth.
Relics, antiquities, grimoires, enchantments. They'll take anything they can get their hands on. All shipped in from Visimrine or Eldrech, of course.
How do we stop them?
We don't, lad. Not all of them, at least. The best we can do is be a thorn in their side. Stop as many getting through as we can. Try contain it to the graph.
Mostly they keep themselves occupied with one another. The gangs. Petty territorial conflicts keeps them at each other's throats.
This city would be a mess if they ever got out of the graph and started peddling their wares on the streets of Midstadt.
It just takes one trinket, one magically charged tome in the wrong hands, and we'll have absolute chaos. See it?
See what? I see it. Damn it.
What am I looking for? On the walls, between the old distillery building and that block of flats. I just see graffiti, what looks like gang signs, and maybe a key of some sort? It's got a snake wrapped around. Oh, right. The key is new. I didn't see that on any of our prisoners. But the snake, it's got to be the same. Like some kind of sea serpent. Makes my skin crawl, it does.
Hold on a second. That key looks familiar. I've seen it somewhere before, I'm sure I have. Now where do you come from?
Ask me. I think we better start getting a move on. People are starting to notice our presence. I thought they'd leave us alone. All the same, I don't trust the look of that crowd over there. Carlisle, ready to go?
In a moment, Sarge. I've almost got it, I'm sure.
They've got some pretty nasty looking hounds with them, Sarge. Carlisle!
Got it! The harbour. I've seen that emblem on one of the ships docked in the harbour. A trading vessel, I think.
Good, good. We'll make a turn there once we get out of this mess.
Long way from home, officers.
Just passing through, thank you. Don't want no trouble.
Who said anything about trouble? No trouble here, officer. We're just minding our own. Peaceful as you like.
When I say run. Big crowd of you being peaceful. Dogs too.
Can never be too careful. Dangerous place, this. Perilous, I've heard some call it.
On my mark. Run!
So much for safe passage, Sarge. He looked about ready to tear us apart.
It seems with the departure of Dunbar and his lot, there's no one to keep an eye on the mobs.
I didn't see any anarchist leaders either. Where was Flinchy and Melville's crew? They're normally keeping tabs on what's going on.
We'll have to grill Gimlick about this. There's more going on in there than he let on. You said you'd seen that key before? At the harbour? Recently?
I'm sure of it. Not a few days past.
It might still be there. Let's go have a look, shall we?
Countess of Harren, Sea Mistress, Wind of Fortune. No, none of these. Maybe I was wrong?
Keep looking. We'll cover the rest just to be sure. We might get lucky. Oi, Sarge! Come take a look at this! What is it? This one's stern's been painted over. Recently too, by the look of it. The paint's still drying. The Maiden Bellona.
Look here. You can just make out the old name beneath the paint. Sea Crow. Not quite as regal, but there it is.
And look, the key! They tried to cover it up, but you can still make it out. So they did.
Can I be of some assistance to you? Or do you just want to snoop around by yourselves a bit?
I take it you're the captain of this vessel? I'm Sergeant James Delwar, and these are Constables Carlisle and McCormick.
Pleased to meet you. Shelley Garcia, but my crew just calls me Shell. What can I do for you?
We're currently investigating events that may involve this ship. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?
My ship? You won't find one cleaner on the ragged sea. Not sure what you're looking for, Sergeant, but there's nothing unsavory about my operation.
Be that as it may, I'll need to see your ship's log and registration.
Gamil, I need you down here.
Captain?
Ship's log and registration for these fine officers. Pronto.
On it, Shell.
I'm operating under a commission, Sergeant. I hope that won't be a problem.
Not if the requisite documents are in order, Captain.
Who owns this ship, then? Who gave you the commission, Captain?
You best tell the constable, lest you want to be charged with hindering an ongoing investigation. I'm sure on paper everything here's in order, but I know what you seafaring lot are like. We deal with smugglers every day, Captain. We know where to look. Trust me.
All right, Sergeant. No need to invoke the devil of certain seas. I'm happy to cooperate. Camille will provide you with all the documentation you need. As for the ship's master, well, the Maiden Bellona is the property of one Mobius Fitzgerald. At least that's the name written on all my payslips.
Fitzgerald? The family Fitzgerald?
That's the one?
How long has he been procuring your services?
Couple years now, on and off. But he lets me keep the ship during the down season. I've run a few good Vissemrine blockades with his beauty, haven't we, Gamil?
Oh, yes, Shell. Lots of them. Ship's registration, trade license, customs compliance, and all the necessary documentation, Sergeant.
Have a look, will you, Carlyle? Always been operating as the Maiden?
Well, we've got to change her name every time we cross into Vissemrine waters. The Maiden's her registered name, but when we cut past the blockades, well, that's a different story. We can't have Rhine headhunters trekking us across the ragged sea now, can we? Not good for business.
I'd imagine not. What's a man like Mobius doing with his own merchant vessel, I wonder?
That'll have to be between you and the Count, Sergeant, if you don't mind. Confidentiality agreements and all that. Unless you're going to arrest me.
That is yet to be determined. But for now, you're free to go. We'll be in touch.
Thank you, Sergeant. Come on, Gamil. She's lying.
Course she is. That's a pirate if ever I saw one. But what's she doing working for Mobius? By all accounts, he could buy out everyone in this city thrice and not even break into a sweat.
We'll have to do some dig.
What in the heavens was that?
The monarchists kicking off again. Maybe they're finally making a move against Dunbar's lot.
No. It sounded like it came from Meridian Way, from the watch house. Look at that smoke. They've bombed the precinct.
Gods, look at those clouds. There's something wrong about them.
We've got to get back to the watch house.
Quickly! Come on! We've got to get there and help!